Okay, for this project, we're going to create a sports logo using what I'm going to refer to as the silhouette technique. So we're going to need a reference image that is a profile that is going to clearly show, think about like the shadow would represent the animal. What we're going to do is take this image and eventually convert it into this image right here. So this is the silhouette technique. This is the destination that we are headed to. So what we're going to do is start in Photoshop, and we are going to use the Object Select tool. I'm just going to create a selection around the parrot right here. I'm going to show you in my layers panel. We have one layer just pasted in. I've made a selection. You can see right here, I just have a selection around the perimeter of the parrot. Now, what I'm going to do is go to the Paths tab right here, and I'm going to use this tool that's going to convert the selection into a path, or make work path from selection. So you see right here, I get all of a sudden anchor points and handles and paths like so that were constructed from the selection. I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to copy this. And so this is the nice thing about using a Creative Suite is I can take that, bring it into Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to create a new file real quick just so that I'm working from blank 1080 by 1080, 72 as our raster effects, RGB color mode, hit Create, and I'm going to go to Edit and Paste. I'm going to get this message. I'm going to choose Compound Shape Fully Editable. And notice it brought in the path, but I have no fill colors or anything. So I'm just going to click on my fill color right here, and I'm going to just choose any color just so I can actually see it for a second. So I selected the black color right here. In my Properties panel, I'm actually going to choose this shade of yellow. And you'll notice that it's pretty good, but I find that if I make it a little bit narrower, just the funky angle that it was at, wasn't exactly the way that I wanted it. I'm just going to resize it, so I'm purposely skewing it a little bit. I also need to fix up the beak a little bit. So that selection did a pretty good job, but I'm going to use my direct selection tool, pressing A, and I'm going to pull this out just to sort of smooth things a little bit. And right here, that's like a corner. I'm going to round it a little bit, so I'm going to move the anchor point to here, which allows me to bring this inward and that out like so. And this little beak part right there, I'm feeling pretty good about how this looks. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually convert this into, let's see, how am I going to do this? I'm going to keep this, I like that shade of yellow, but I'm going to use it in a different way. I'm going to choose this blue right here. You can choose any colors that you want, but sort of what I make blue, and if you make it purple, make the other things that I make blue purple as well. I'm going to create a rectangle, and this rectangle is going to quickly change. So I'm going to center this on the page and use the direct selection tool to just grab one corner. I'm going to hold the Shift key and then right arrow 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Makes it more trapezoidal. I'm going to do Shift left arrow key 1, 2, 3 times like so. And then what I'm going to do is create a circle. So I'm going to grab the Ellipse tool, hold the Shift key. I'm going to make a circle like so. And I want my fill to be a different color, but I want my stroke to be that blue. I'm actually going to increase my stroke size to about 50 points right here. So right in this neighborhood here. And my fill I'm going to make yellow. And I'm going to right-click on this and arrange, send to back. So I'm feeling pretty good about how this is looking. I'm going to rotate this a little bit just because I want it to be tilted like so. And this little piece here, I'm going to pull down like that. All right, next thing that I'm going to do is create a rectangle. This is going to be where you're going to put like the city name of the sports team right here. I want this to be the same color as that, but I don't want the stroke. And so I will set that up and position it in the middle. And just to sort of make sure everything is centered up, I'm going to position this, align this relative to the artboard, centered, and scoot that over just a little bit. And then group it temporarily and center it vertically on the artboard. And then I'll ungroup it so that I can continue to edit it. Now I'm going to call this team the Parrots, and so I'm going to write P-A-R-R-O-T-S. I sure hope that's how you spell parrots, otherwise this is going to be embarrassing. And I'll center the text and align it to the middle. And I'm going to make my fill the same color as that yellow. And I'm going to make the font bold. Of course, you can choose whatever font settings you want. I'm going to set this to a tracking of 100. bring this down just a little bit, and I'm going to eyeball this to increase the font size while holding the Shift key to maintain aspect ratio. And this is where I'm going to write the name of the city. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write Glenview, the old Glenview Parrots, one of my favorite sports franchises of all time. Hold the Shift key as I resize this, bring it down into here. I'll maintain the colors that I'm using, so I'll fill that with blue. And then I'm just going to take a few moments to fine tune it, make sure everything is centered as I would want it. And once I'm feeling pretty good about that, I'll go to File, and I'll go to Export, Export As, and export it as a PNG.